Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here, and today we're going to be diving into our proposal, and more specifically the outline that we'll be using to create our final proposal for Nisha Carr and her company. The outline that you're looking at here will be broken down into 6 different sections: the optimal pod design and detail results, the introduction that we'll see here, body paragraph number 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, and the conclusion. This outline is going to help us create our final proposal so that we can take all these different parts and pieces and then submit a proposal to Nisha Carr for which pod design is optimal for helping her company with the natural disaster problem. So to start, we're going to begin with the optimal pod design details and result. This is where you're going to be recording all of the important information about the actual test that you're arguing for in the final proposal. So you'll start off with the names of the people that are writing the proposal, whether it's just you or you and your partner, whatever that number test or the iterative test number was in your testing log. So was it number 10, 20, 30, 50, whatever? How did you prioritize your criteria? So what was your first priority? What was your second priority? And what was your third priority? And then finally, what were those pod details? In other words, what was the shell, the percentage of airbags, metal foam, and so on? Notice we'll have 0 to 100 for that. We'll have our top add-ons and our bottom add-ons to round off the overall details. And then underneath that, you have your pod results. So what was the impact force, mass, and velocity? And then finally, what was your shell condition, total cost, and cargo damage? So for this section, what iterative pod design details and results will you and your group be arguing is optimal? This is where you tell me what is that design. This is going to end up being a part of your claim and the focus of your overall proposal. Once you have that selected and the details recorded, we'll then get into our introduction. The introduction has our 3 parts, which we went over: the opening supply summary, the optimal design and drop results, and then the supply drop criteria and criteria results. Now notice under each section, we have the question you're looking to answer. So for example, what background information do you need to present to show your reader you best understand the problem and how the pod is the solution? So you'll go into this section and you'll answer that question how you see fit. Same with this question, that'll be answered over here, and then this third question here. With some of the questions, you'll notice there are links to help you complete each section. Again, these links can take you to articles or data tables or other things. Feel free to use them as you see fit, okay? But this is the first part of our overall proposal. Tell me the details that you're going to be arguing for here, and then what is the optimal pod design, criteria results, and drop results for the problem our supply pod solves. Answering the question about what we need to know background information-wise. What is that design? So what are the actual materials you're using, along with the results that we can expect? And then what were those 3 criteria we know were used to make decisions about your pod in terms of its success, and what were the actual results for those 3 criteria? So take a second, go ahead and answer the introduction survey. Do we understand how to complete the pod design details and results? Do we understand how to complete the introduction supply drop claim? If the answer is yes, go and put your X in green. If you put your X in yellow, reach out. Otherwise, good luck.